How to trick your brain to like doing hard things. Sometimes it feels like our brains are determined to sabotage us. Your mind knows you need to finish that sales report, do the dishes, and sort your laundry. But look how many cute cat videos are on YouTube! We all fall into the trap of procrastination and the "I'll do it later" mentality. It's just so much easier to snuggle up in bed and watch hours of adorable animals or viral prank videos. Yet we become frustrated and stressed when we don't accomplish anything on our to-do lists. Unfortunately, this means that our brains are the boss of us, not the other way around. The worst part is, trying to force your brain out of that procrastination state only makes things worse. Your brain is a stubborn organ that will fight back and fight back hard. So rather than waste hours fighting your own mind, you can trick your brain into doing your bidding. No fighting required. Your brain protects you. Sort of. The intense aversion to change, and the risk that comes with it, stems from a tiny, nut-sized part of your brain called the amygdala. Its primary function is to keep you alive and protect you from potential danger, which is great for wilderness survival, but not so much for getting things done. Your brain sees stress as a threat, since it causes adverse physical reactions. In response to that stress, your amygdala seeks relief by telling you to avoid the stressors in your life. Avoidance feels good in the moment, but makes the mountain of to-dos that much higher to climb. Your amygdala is also responsible for your fight or flight response. When this survival mode is activated, all you can focus on is staying alive and nothing else. Did you know that stress can be a trigger for this extreme state? Your amygdala will send you into this survival mode when it feels you are getting overwhelmed, because it's trying to protect you from it all. However, when your amygdala triggers the fight or flight response, it also temporarily shuts down your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and critical thinking. You know, the thing you need to get yourself out of the stressful situation? Your brain substitutes rational thought for survival impulse. Change is never easy, or is it? When you start to make changes in your life, no matter how positive the reward might be, your brain is going to fight you on it. Why? Because it doesn't know that the reward is guaranteed. It would much rather bank on the for sure comfort you have now than the possible reward in the future. And it will trigger all kinds of fear and stress responses to fight the changes. Now, don't get mad at your brain. It's just doing what it's programmed to do. The problem is that it doesn't translate well to getting things done and actually solving the issues causing your stress and anxiety. Your brain sees the action as a loss of comfort, so it naturally wants you to avoid that loss. So, how do we get our brains to work with us for a change rather than against us? Here are 7 simple ways to reframe your brain and get the hard things done. Number 1, begin with fun. We all know the feeling of waking up in the morning and instantly feeling the heavy weight of dread in the pits of our stomach. The tasks for the day can feel overwhelming, and our stress levels might start to rise the moment our feet hit the floor. To break your mind out of the morning slump, start your day by doing something fun or enjoyable. Take a little walk before work. Enjoy a cup of coffee while you watch the birds outside. Let yourself have 15 minutes of social media time. Give your brain a reward to shake the stressful cobwebs before your day begins. Number 2. Quit after one important task. Whoa, just one important task? But there are easily 20 on my list any given day. Yes, but your brain doesn't have to know that. The only thing stronger than your brain's desire for certain comfort is the anticipation of a certain reward. Not a potential reward, a certain reward, meaning it knows for sure the reward will happen. And this reward response is triggered by a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is released into our brains in anticipation of an imminent reward. For instance, if you're running a race and you see the finish line just ahead, dopamine will be produced and your brain will love it. Once you cross that finish line, dopamine continues to flow, and the reward response in your mind goes nuts. Give yourself lots of finish lines throughout the day, instead of one big one at 5 p.m. Tell yourself, I just have to finish this one task, then I can have the reward of a break, a trip to the coffee maker, a snack, anything that you feel is a good reward. Your brain gets addicted to the dopamine and wants to chase after that feeling again and again until all of your tasks are completed for the day. Eventually, you won't even have to reward yourself with treats or walk breaks. The high of finishing a task will be enough reward for your mind. So break up your tasks into small goals and race across those finish lines throughout the day. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Now, this dopamine stuff is beneficial, but it wields a lot of power and can lead to negative outcomes if you're not careful, sort of like the One Ring in The Lord of the Rings. If your brain regularly experiences an excess level of dopamine, it can quickly lead to addictive behaviors. For example, scrolling through Facebook for hours on end, binge watching Netflix, gaming into the late hours of the night, even things like gambling and drinking. Consequently, we might find ourselves spending more time indulging in negative behaviors with no motivation to accomplish things, hard or otherwise. To keep your dopamine in check, and by proxy addictive behaviors, set limits for yourself. Give yourself a set time every evening to scroll through social media. Maybe Friday nights are when you get to binge on Netflix, not during the week. Be mindful of the time you spend indulging. It makes these activities more rewarding in the long run. Your brain won't become numb to the dopamine levels. Mindfulness helps you reset your brain's reward system and expectations, making those rewards more effective. And in the meantime, you have more space to accomplish hard things, like washing the dishes or finally putting away the folded laundry in that basket. Number 4, use the magic of music. One of the most effective yet passive ways to increase dopamine levels and trick your brain into doing hard tasks is listening to music. Merely popping in your earbuds can benefit your study sessions, workday, and overall concentration. Melodic instrumentals are some of the best choices when you're powering through a task that requires your full attention. There are no lyrics to distract you, but the soothing notes will increase the production of dopamine, which makes the task feel enjoyable. Whether you're at work or doing chores at home, put your records on and let the dopamine start flowing. You'll get lots more accomplished and feel really good while doing it. Number 5, take a hike. Maybe not a hike, but a short walk around the office will suffice. Walking and movement have been shown to help you think more clearly and boost your creativity. Getting your blood flowing and breathing some fresh air can work wonders for your brain when you're faced with a hard task. Dopamine levels are regulated after just 20 minutes of aerobic exercise, which resets your reward system and renews your motivation. An increase in activity gets blood flowing at optimum levels, giving your brain plenty of oxygen and nutrients to help it take a breather. Maybe you've noticed how clearly you can focus after a run. That good old dopamine hard at work. Not only does exercise regulate dopamine levels and give your brain a break, but it also triggers the production of serotonin and endorphins, more feel-good neurotransmitters for your brain to enjoy. Take some time in the middle of the workday to take a quick jog or walk around the building. If you can't be away from your desk for a big chunk of time, break it up into smaller ones. Remember, give your brain lots of short finish lines. Take 5 minutes to walk to the break room, take the scenic route to the restroom, or just go for a quick spin around the office floor. It will work wonders for your to-do list. Number 6, get plenty of sleep. Optimal brain function relies on getting enough rest, and with it, dopamine regulation. If you aren't getting enough sleep at night, your dopamine levels will be all out of whack the next day, making it extra challenging to get anything done. A poor sleep schedule is particularly detrimental to getting hard things done because it exacerbates the feeling of stress and anxiety. Remember our friend the amygdala? The amygdala is irritated by lack of sleep. and starts triggering all kinds of negative emotions when our brains are not well rested. Getting enough sleep and keeping a regular sleep schedule actually helps reduce the size of the amygdala. Wild, right? Which eases feelings of anxiety, fear, stress, and being overwhelmed. To help yourself and your amygdala, get the rest you both need by turning off your screen an hour before bed each night. Take some time to stretch, do some breathing exercises, or even meditate to unwind from the day. Turning off your screens may be a hard task at first, but your brain will thank you for it. We've come to our 7th and final way how to trick your brain to like doing hard things. But before we get there, consider subscribing. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. And if you like this content, hit the like button and comment below. Number 7, build good habits. The majority of our brain's choices are driven by habit, not by conscious decision. Habits help us go on autopilot so that we spend less time thinking and more time doing. This is hugely helpful in our daily lives, as long as the habits we've developed are good ones. If you have bad habits, like, say, avoiding hard tasks, wink wink, you need to replace that bad habit with a good one. Here's how. Habits are like a cycle of cue, routine, reward. Let's use the habit of scrolling on your phone as an example. When you feel stressed or anxious, that's your cue. Your response is to reach for your phone and open Instagram or Facebook. The reward is the temporary avoidance of the stressor and not feeling their pain, for now. Flip those bad habits on their head. When you feel the cue, stress, condition your response to be something positive. Go for a walk, practice deep breathing, or do something simple like write down one thing you're grateful for. The reward is now the endorphins of the exercise, the calm and peace from breathing deeply, or the feeling of gratitude. Much better. This allows you to center your mind and prepare to face the hard tasks, rather than avoiding them and making things harder in the long run. Thanks for watching Cerebral Life, the channel where you learn more and improve your life. See you next time.